Hi everyone, welcome to the podcast. P is for Plog. This is my every so often podcast where I talk about my life as a professional plogger, just about the daily struggles I have in trying to actually make this a career that not can just sustain me, but also hopefully other people in the future, to give them some tips and the tricks, also to keep you informed how it's going. Today's episode is episode 36. P is for problems. I've got 99 of them, and most of them are caused by me. Let's get going.
Plug it and tag it and post it and bin it. Plug it and tag it and post it and bin it.
Okay, I'm going to keep this one quite short. I just wanted to do a bit of a catch up, just get back into the flow of it. And yeah, just to give you a bit of an update. So let's start with, first of all, the update. I think the biggest update is Garmin. If you've been following me on Instagram, then you'll know that I've got Garmin as for those that are just listening, I'm actually doing air quotes, ambassador. I'm a Garmin ambassador. I think it's a bit of a sort of, let's say, chilled description for what I am. So what happened is I've been a huge fan of Garmin. And I've reached out to them a couple of times saying, look, let's work together. And they go, yeah, we love what you do. But they kind of didn't really respond. I finally wore them down into submission. It's kind of my normal way of doing things. I was there running Scorrel as part of my Le Champion ambassador races. And I saw the Garmin rep there a few times. We were just chatting. I know them quite well. Having a good time. And I thought, this is just stupid. I should reach out to them again now that I've got Le Champion as a sponsor, as I'm an ambassador for Le Champion. Maybe they find it a bit more interesting because suddenly I've got more visibility in all these races. It could sort of benefit them. Being completely honest, the reason why brands will help me is not altruistic reason. It's got to help them, really. And I think that's true of everything, really. Yeah, it can't be just give. It's a bit of give and take and a real partnership. So I think they saw that as being okay. Now he's a little bit more interesting. I'm being completely honest. It's just me, not necessarily what they've said. I think they see me as a little bit more interesting. And I said to them, look, I'm going to have to reach out. Just being completely honest, I said I'm going to have to reach out to other brands. I'd rather work with you if I can. Before I reach out to other brands. In full disclosure to everyone here, if I do shift allegiance to another brand, it's not, it's purely a financial reason. I mean, I need to have a solid financial foundation to be able to continue doing this. It's just how it is, how life is. You need to be able to pay the bills. So if I do switch, then my primary driver of switching away from Garmin will be purely financial. Now, that's not to say that I will just change to a brand that I don't think is going to be working. A lot of these GPS watches now are amazing. I still think that Garmin is the leader in this, which is the reason why I went to them. But more importantly, I've got history with Garmin. I've been using Garmin watches since they first came out, or rather the second edition. So I think the first one was a Forerunner 201. And then when the Forerunner 301 came out, I jumped on board. So that's in 2005. So I've been using GPS watches since 2005. And every plog I've ever done has had a GPS watch that's from Garmin on my wrist, with the exception of two activities. So I did win a watch from another brand. I'm not going to mention who it was, but I did win a watch from another brand, tried it out, didn't like it, sent it and actually sold it and went back to a Garmin watch. That just sort of shows you how much I love them. I'm kind of screwing myself out now, aren't I? Because if no other brand's going to want to sort of pick me up now because I'm just saying how much I love Garmin. Oh, damn it. I might if I do actually shift brands, I will delete this video. But yeah, I've been a huge Garmin fan since 2005. I mean, in the old days, it was just crazy. It was such a game changer, but it was a game changer with quirks. When you those who will remember, you used to have to sort of go out, put your watch on top of a car in clear daylight and sort of no big buildings nearby and wait 10 minutes for it to acquire the GPS. If you sneezed from a distance of 10 meters near it, then it would lose satellites. It was that bad. Running through a forest, forget it. Your Garmin, your GPS track will be all over the place. Now all of the watches are amazing, regardless of brand. I still think Garmin is leading the way and is still innovating, which is really great. So what is Garmin doing then? Well, they're not financially supporting me, but I said, look, I think having you as being an ambassador of you is going to open doors for me. Having Garmin on my shirt is going to really be a benefit to add sort of gravitas to who I am as a plogger. So I'm really sort of keen on it. I think I get enough benefit from it. So just provide me with the gear. So I've currently got the Phoenix 8. So before that I had the Epix Pro Gen 2. That was the last one I had. And so what Garmin did was they sent me the Phoenix 8 as a loaner. So I've got this as a loaner. And then what's going to happen is when a new watch comes out, that's all I'm going to say because I don't know anymore. It's like in the future you will get something more permanent. So, so that's the idea behind it. Hopefully, I can just build up this partnership with Garmin in the future to maybe get some financial backing as well, or just to get them to support me in maybe, you know, funding a film or a documentary or something along those lines, something something that they see benefit in it. But either way, I'm super thrilled to be on board as a Garmin user. So I've been championing them for forever, and I'm glad to say I'm doing it now with them behind me. So I'm so thrilled, really chuffed that they did say let's work together. And what is true of all the partners I've had, which I think is amazing, is that the restrictions. I haven't signed sort of a contract or anything along those lines. It is very chilled, and it's just, and this is true of most of the brands that are sort of taking me on board. They like just say, just be your authentic self. You carry on doing what you're doing. We don't want to change you in any way, and I think that's really important. If I do take on sponsors with financial element on it, I think that's one of the most important things is that I carry on being authentic to myself, and I'm really grateful to all the partners that see that value in me. So yeah, there we go. So that was a quick update on Garmin, but P is for problems. I've got 99 of them and I'm all of them. Why am I 99 problems? I want to just quickly talk about, and I mentioned this on Substack, about the dilemma of a rejection when I reach out to sponsors. So when I reach out to brands, I fully expect a rejection. Garmin, going back to Garmin, it's a complete, as a perfect example. I've reached out to Garmin over the years, gazillions of times, never getting sort of a reply back. It's not because of anything other than they probably get gazillions of those messages from everyone every day. So, I fully expect when I reach out to brands that most of them will say no. The best thing I can get is a yes. The next best thing I can get is a no. I try and be ethical when I reach out to brands, and I'm not a person that will reach out to, or I've really actively avoided it to reach out. Okay, I need this piece of equipment to do this. Let's go with the watch. Let's go with the watch. This isn't what happened, but I'm going to take it as soon as we're talking about Garmin. So I want to watch. I want to get a watch brand on board. How will I do that? Well, I won't reach out to all the watch brands and say, who wants me? This is who I am. Who's going to willing to pick it up? What I would do is I would go to the brand that I call number one. I would go to them and ask them, and then if they, I'll give them sort of a period to answer, and if not, then I will move on to the next brand. So I'll take it in a sequential order of going to these brands. And that's what's happened with a lot of elements that I've done in the past. I sort of go, right, that's the brand I want to work with. Will they pick me up? So the best thing I can get is a yes coming back, but the next best thing is a no, because I know that they've replied to me and they said, look, yeah, sorry. Yeah, even if it's, you got to be kidding. bye. Or even if it's, yeah, we love what you do, but we haven't got any budget for it, or whatever it is. If it comes back with a no, then I'm just as happy, because it means that I don't feel constrained then to go off to another brand. If I don't get a response from them, then I kind of am left in that hollow ground. Are they still contemplating it? Are they still, or are they just ignoring me? What is it? So I try and do a follow up and say, look, yeah, let me know if it is, it isn't. I haven't contacted anyone else, and then I'll give them a little bit of time before I move off. So that means the whole process of looking for one specific segment, whether it's a watch or whether it's let's say a car. So yeah, if I want a new car, then, or if I want to work with a car brand, yeah, if I want to do that sequentially, it means that it could be 6 months, and I've only contacted a few of them, and I've just been left hanging on all of them, and it's so the best thing next to a yes is a no. I fully expect the no's. I fully expect the rejections more than I expect the acceptance. And one of the things I've really discovered is when you do get that acceptance, it's the right one to pick. It's the one that's really enthusiastic about you. It's the one that says, yes, we want to work with you. So I think that's in true of all the cases. Whenever I've had a yes back, I've been super excited because of the enthusiasm they've shown to me, and it's just so fantastic. However, there is one area where I've been so reluctant to reach out to them. And so this is where the P is for problem, and it's basically me. It is a reluctance for me to contact some companies. I am actually going to name them on this because I've sent the letter to them, but I haven't heard back yet. So it could be they're just reviewing it. It's only been a couple of days. So I'm quite happy to mention their name. And if they come back with a no, fine. I'm happy with that. If they don't come back, yeah, I would have liked them to come back with a no or a yes. But yeah, even if it is, at the moment there is nothing negative against them. I just want to talk about the dilemma that I've got. So what is the dilemma? It's as simple as, so there are a couple of specific brands or companies or organizations that I've been so reluctant to reach out to because I'm actually scared about that rejection. So I am the problem. I'm not reaching out to them. And this brand, let's get onto it. So there's an area I clean up. And if you've been following me on Instagram, in fact, yesterday was a perfect example. It was a really windy day and the area was just atrocious. It's actually the worst place in Harlem, and it's next to some supermarkets. So there's a chain of supermarkets. There's an Aldi. There's an Action. There's a zoo. There's a pet store. And there's a couple of stores, and there's an Albert Heijn, the local Albert Heijn, which is Voss. So I think they have about 5 locations, and it's the worst area that I feel for trash in Harlem. Not because it is the worst area of trash. There are definitely gazillions of places I can go, and I know I will find more trash. It's the worst place because it shouldn't be there at all. It shouldn't be a problem. What's happening is it's a whole row of supermarkets and some other stores as well, and and it's also a residential area above, and that's important. As I'll come on to in a second. What happens is all the trash, there's no bins on the street, on the pathways, or they are really hidden and people don't know about them. So what happens is people are throwing trash on the ground. It gets blown along this strip of stores, of this supermarkets, and it gets trapped around the corner where the wind blows. And what happens is, and I'll put it up on the screen so you can sort of see how bad it is, it just blows there. And because there's like some bushes and some grass, it gets stuck in there and it just builds up. In one day, what you're seeing on the screen, it just happened in one day. That was just from the wind yesterday blowing around that corner. So it is coming from these stores. I'm not saying it's coming from Albert Heijn. I'm not saying it's coming from Aldi. It's coming from all of them, or rather, it's coming from the consumers. Most of it is coming from the consumers, nearly all of it, or the residents above. And that's the important thing is, it's giving a bad impression to these supermarkets because everyone's going, it's such an awful place in terms of trash. Yeah, it's terrible that the supermarkets are dealing with it. And I think it's the worst place in Harlem because it's so simple to fix. All that needs to happen is these stores get together and they say, right, we'll take turns in just sending a staff member out once in the morning for 20 minutes, just clean it up, bang, done. But they aren't doing that. I think they've got like a contract with the local refuse company that comes around perhaps once a week or something. And even then, yeah, they can't get into all the right places. The car park, if you look in the gutters of the car park, it is awful. Truly, truly awful. And it shouldn't be that case. Is it the supermarket's fault? Well, in part, they are responsible for 25 meters around them. Legally, they are responsible for that, so they should clean it up, although it is technically private land, so I don't know how that works out. And there's also the residents above. On that grass bit that I clean up, it is really clear that one of the balconies above that grass area, they just throw their cigarettes down onto the ground there. It is just so clear that happens. So I have this problem. So why is this? Why am I coming to this, talking about this? What is the problem? The problem is I'm too scared to reach out to them. For some brands and some situations, and there's a couple that's happened, and this is a perfect example. I've been wanting to reach out to them. A friend of mine actually got hold of the person I need to speak to 6 months ago. It's taken me 6 months to brave up the courage to go to them, but I have finally done it. What is the dilemma? Why is it taking me so long? Because I'm scared that they're going to say no or ignore me. Whereas I'm quite happy to reach out to brands, gazillions of brands. But in this situation, I'm scared simply because what do I do if they say no? What do I do if they come back or ignore me? All I want to do is just work with them. They can support me. I think they get a real big benefit of the local banana. We support the local banana in cleaning up this area. And I can focus on saying, look, not all of this trash is from these supermarkets. Some of it's from McDonald's. Some of it's from all these other places. It's very clear it's people dropping the trash. It's not trash that's coming from supermarket or even from the customers of the supermarket. It could be from the residents above. So I think there's some benefit we can get from it. But what happens if they say no? Now I'm in the dilemma of should I pick up that trash? And I mentioned this on my Substack post. Should I pick up this trash if I don't get a yes? Because what's happening is if I've told them I want them to help me continue this. I want to continue what I'm doing. I think we can do something good. But if they actively say no, then why should I continue picking up that trash? It's going to just benefit them, and they're not supporting me in return. It's just a one-way street. So that's what I'm really scared about. So some brands I just find really difficult to reach out to because I'm scared of the answer because it puts me in a dilemma. And it's a me problem because they can never say yes if I don't reach out to them, which is why I did actually reach out to Albertine. And I'll keep you posted as to whether they did or not. But what happens if they come back then? What do I do? I'd love to know. Put it in sort of in the comments section or something, or just reach out to me and let me know. Should I just stop picking up that trash? If I stop picking up the trash, then people are going to see me running past that trash and not picking up. They're going to go, well, he's a bit of a fake plogger. He doesn't even pick up the trash. So it's going to have a negative impact on me if I don't pick it up in terms of optics. Do I tell people that I'm no longer picking it up because they are not supporting me? That seems a bit petty. Do I say they're not supporting me, but I'm going to carry on doing it? That seems a bit sort of, it has a negative connotation to it. Or do I just keep on picking it up and say they haven't supported me yet, but hey, just reach out to me if you want to support me? I don't know how to handle this situation. So the 99 problems so often is actually just me wanting to avoid that situation. In effect, I've been the one that's been putting my head in the sand. It has nothing to do with Albertine, all the Action and all the other stores, because they've got no clue that I want to be supported by them. Well, now I've reached out to them. The reason why I reached out to the quick one on the Albertine, the supermarket chain there, is because it is a local 5-store shop sort of supermarket. And I know from Albertine that all support like this happens locally. So it's a locally local decision if they want to support me. So I know that there's more meaning if Albert Heijn do it. If I go to the Aldi, if I go to the Action or these other places, they are just chains. They've got a store manager, but they have no, it doesn't have that control, doesn't have that level of engagement that I can get. I have to actually go to the central location, to the main offices for the Netherlands. So it's going to be tough out to reach them. But yeah, so that's the reason why I approached Albert Heijn first. And then hopefully if they say yes, we can also bring in the others so that they don't get the bill on their own. We can do it together. That's kind of everything I want to say. I'm going to keep this quite short, so it's only 20 minutes long. Just wanted to give you a bit of an update on that. Also, there's some changes coming in terms of my social. So I'm actually recording this on Demo Creator from Wondershare, and the reason why I'm doing this, because one of the things I want to do, and I'll do one on Friday, is start doing a bit more long format videos, but chatting through short format videos and explaining the story behind it. So here's a video I did of this event. That's my sort of like 2-minute video, but I want to just chat, go through it, go through all the things you're seeing in that short reels, and then just talk about behind the scenes. So there's a lot of things coming. I really want to sort of just build up the YouTube and also do this on Spotify as well. I mean, you'd have to watch the video maybe for it on Spotify, but thanks for listening. I hope you're having a great day. And yeah, if you are going to have 99 problems, try to avoid you being one of them. I want that to be my new way of life. My name is Paul. This is my way of life. Speak to you soon. Bye. Oh, I decided not to have the headphones on this time because I was like thinking I don't actually need to have the headphones on. The trouble is I look like the Mekon. If you know who the Mekon is, then I am the Mekon. Bye.